I mean, I guess we didn't chat to the camera too much.
We don't need to chat to the camera. I need to know how you fucking pushed your car on the side of the road to get to a gas station.
So I didn't push my car, but I have a toxic trait of like, I hate filling up my gas. Like, what a waste of time.
I agree.
It's how I feel about peeing. Like, I will hold it all day long.
Until we're peeing.
No, I just feel like it's such a waste of my time to like fill up my gas. So I will like wait. But then like your car tells you like, oh, you have 20 miles. So I'm like, whatever, I'll just like find it on the way. So I'm on 75 in the stop traffic. And it's like 4 miles until empty. And I'm like, yikes.
Wait, your light was already on.
Yeah. It was on when I left the house. But I don't like naturally run into a gas station. I was like, when I get closer to your house, there's like
a ton on the side. I get that.
I'm not going out of my way to get gas.
No, but like the second the light turns on, you're driving to a gas station in my world.
Yeah, no.
And this is why I hate when Eden drives my car and does that, because then I get into the car and there's 4 miles left.
It doesn't fill up for you. See, Kyle is so anxious. If he was in the car with me now, he would be like, and this is, and I'd be like,
That's why I love Kyle.
There's some sort of like exhilaration I get from it when it like gets to the end and I'm like, it's now or never, guys. Like, I feel like I'm in Mission Impossible, but just trying to fucking find gas.
You would have been really great in the middle of Oklahoma, driving back at 2 o'clock in the morning for Christmas. Yeah. Like, you need gas. What happens if there is no gas station?
I mean, I've definitely put myself in a precarious situation once before, and I've only run out of gas one time in my life. I was like 16, just had gotten my car. I don't even remember seeing the light go on. Yeah. I had to call my dad and he was like, well, I'm somewhere else. You're going to wait there. So I was just like on the side of the road for like 2 hours.
Did he bring a little bucket?
Yeah, he brought a little thing and he was just like.
I've never done that. I guess I didn't get to that extreme. Also, I don't know anybody that has a little gasoline bucket to go to a gas station and get stuff for me.
Well, yeah, I guess because you grew up in Florida. Like, we had that for my dad's, like, tractor or snowblower.
Oh, so you needed it for other items that required gas.
Had one.
Got it.
You can't, like, it's not like you can pull a fucking tractor up the...
No, I don't know.
It would take, it's a whole thing.
I see a lot of Amish people when I go to Oklahoma, and they're on the road with their tractors.
Where are you going with that?
Yeah, they're on the road with their tractors.
But they probably, those are like towns in which you can't. Like, there's towns in New England. I only know this because my brother's now ATV, where like you can ATV on the road because certain vehicles, like tractor, like you
golf cart,
take a tractor on the roads here. Like, that wouldn't be legal. I'm just stating what I think.
No, there's like actual signs when you go there, and it will.
Those are like towns where they're sanctioned. So
that makes sense. That makes sense.
Here, I doubt you could be on 75 with a tractor. Like, leave it to me. I'll give it.
I was gonna say that would be you at this point with no gas.
Yeah, but not in a tractor. Do I look like I drive a tractor?
No, I was actually pretty shocked that you were ATVing with your brothers, and now you want one.
I mean, they're really fun.
I'm afraid.
I think once you love to drive fast. Like, what about the fucking ATV is where you
on straight roads? Like, isn't it
Ariel,
crazy terrain?
You could be an F1 driver. Like, I don't know what about your...
We saw that movie the other day.
It's good, right?
I was actually pretty impressed.
Imagine being brought... He's like 60.
He looked phenomenal. Like, I was like...
Kyle was like, this is not fair to the rest of us. I'm like, well, one, you don't have his genetics, so...
Yeah. So we went a million different places, which I think that's what we were meant to do anyways, right? That's good.
That's great. Yeah. So why don't you, it's going to be so hard because I feel like I have so much corporate bullshit in me to not be like, and now I'm going to pass it over to Ariel. Why don't you walk us through the statistics about why, blah, blah, blah. Like, I got to like take myself out of presenting a deck versus just like talking trash.
I think I'm just going to be real and honest that we started this a while ago, right? We've talked about this for a long time. So, and we kept being very corporate and formal about it, and then realized like that's not the vibe, that's not what we're going for, and frankly like that's not the audience that we want either. So I'll just kick off and say, wow, that sounds corporate too, but here we are.
Yeah, I'll just kick off and say,
it'll take a while.
Direct your attention to the slide. You'll see. No, just who are we? What are our names?
Ariel.
Oh, I thought you were gonna introduce me. How awkward.
Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. I can introduce myself.
Should we cut this? No.
I'm Avital.
And we met like 10 years ago, I would say. I actually...
It's 12. No, maybe 11.
I haven't been here for 12 years.
Honey, you have.
20, oh my God, 12 next next year.
Correct.
Okay, 11. We've known each other for 11 years. And I was thinking about it the other day. I think the reason why I was meant to move to Dallas and start at that company wasn't to be in Dallas, wasn't to be at that company, was truly to meet you and my now husband here in Dallas, right?
Imagine. I should probably go first. How special.
I think like that was my least favorite job to date. I really struggled. I won't talk poorly about a particular place, but I think the reason why I stayed and I was so drawn to being here in Dallas and was you. Like we clicked, we got along really well. And
that is so emo to start this.
I just have to be honest, like that's how we knew each other.
Yeah, no. I thought you were going to say how we met was like, I mean, obviously we met at work. Rumors were started. But really it was like, I can distinctly
one dive.
I mean, that's like led us into many other iterations of things.
I was jealous.
No, I think just like, for me, it's like the fact that you liked when I went to the hospital so you could hold the bag. But anyway, no, I thought you were going to mention when I can distinctly remember getting your eyebrows done. And I went with you because we were like I'm like trying to make friends. Like she's getting her eyebrows, blah, blah, blah.
Was it in the middle of your work day?
No, it was like at the end of the day. Okay. And I remember literally getting back into my car and you were like, okay, you want to come with me one time to get my nails done? And I was like, oh, I don't get my nails done. And you were like, so you want to come with me one time to get your nails done? And I was like, oh, I got it. I
don't even remember that.
I will like never forget it because I just looked down at my nubs and I was like, message received, check.
You're welcome.
No, I mean, thank you.
Those are good friends.
Absolutely. I'm also spending more money than I ever have before, but.
I don't disagree, but I don't think I could ever go back. We could try the press-ons.
Yeah.
We could try
some research.
I can't believe I did that. I definitely was a different person back then than I am today. Like, I don't know if I would just do that to a random stranger in my 35 years of life, but.
Well, I think you were like, we're this
vibing.
And she's not going to take offense to this.
Yeah.
But also like, I need to help her because look at her fucking fingers.
I mean, a couple months later, I remember going to Sephora and you like literally asked me to confiscate all of my Walgreens CVS makeup. You're like, no, we're going to a foundation for a foundation, Ariel.
That still blows me away with how you were raised, the fact that you were like turning around. And I shouldn't say that because I'm sure a lot of people use like drugstore products. I
still
problem
do
with that. I do too for like certain things. It's the quality that I want to address.
Yeah. No,
and how it lays on your skin. Like when we aren't blended, we've got to revisit what's going on.
I don't disagree. I didn't know about Sephora. Like that wasn't a thing. My mom wasn't big into makeup. Like I just kind of was doing my own thing. None of my close girlfriends growing up were big into that. Like I was the girlfriend that people were looking at for those things. So thank fucking God, because
that's fair.
What would they be doing? Calling, be like, what do I do at Walgreens today?
And you're like, you have a lot of things. I had the gaze. So I didn't have any, I was like a boy really until I was like in college. But I had some really cute like cap highlights going. I was rocking
cap
like
highlights.
Well, you know when you're like you never colored your hair, but like one of my best friends when I was like 14, he would do my hair, he would do my mom's hair, he did my cousin's hair. And it was just like the cap where he's like pulling the hair out.
I have seen
And then I was like, oh my God, how beautifully blended. I look back and it's just like straight
tiger
of fucking like crispy blonde.
Was this Nick?
Yeah.
I figured.
Yeah.
You had several.
Yeah, I had a couple. I like to keep them close. I'm basically a gay man, so.
But we just got married, so.
Yeah.
To a man.
Shock of a lifetime. For him too.
Okay, so we met at work 11 years ago is what we've determined. And obviously have stayed like super close throughout the years. I feel like evolved in our years of corporate and family and just life.
Yeah.
And I think more recently, maybe it was post-COVID, all the shit, we just have realized that a lot of what we talk about is very relevant and things that a lot of other people want to talk about too, but don't necessarily feel comfortable speaking on. And why not like create a space where, I don't know, we're fucking talking about it.
Yeah, like a community. I think that's something that you're specifically good at too, because I don't think that was something that like I was talking about with my other friends. I mean, also, I think when you're in high school, like the depth of your conversations is only so deep,
Yeah.
right? Like you're not even really like fully functioned or formed yet as a human being. So like, and especially I think you have gone through some like deep traumas when you were in high school. Like I've gone through mine in my like 20s. So I think that also kind of opens you up, and you were like a great, I guess, avenue, because I really hadn't like dove into a lot of the things that I thought were like tough for me or hard or whatever else, mostly because I didn't have like another friend that was maybe going through it, or I didn't think I had a friend.
Yeah.
And I feel like you were the one that was really like, yeah, let's talk about like weight, and let's talk about like struggles with body and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh my God, this is like so cool to talk about. Like I've only just like been uncomfortable like with my other friends at the mall being like, yeah, I don't need anything, like those were my experiences, and they were like very muted. Like I still feel very lucky to not have had that be like a central part of my growing
Your
up.
entire story.
Yeah. I mean, now, like when I think you've gone through it too in therapy, like when you step away from things, you're like, oh, wow, that really did dictate a lot of the things I did. But when I was in it, I was like blissfully unaware of that.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for those like mechanisms of protection, because they allowed me to have the childhood that I had versus being like crippled with all those things. But I think you are so good at being like, no, let's talk about it. And I think as we've like evolved and gone through like our corporate career and all of that, the need for connection and being like honest and open, whether it's like talking about like management styles or salaries or things that like the outside world really doesn't want us to discuss. And I think you're great at being like, but let's talk about it. Like, let's rip the Band-Aid off. And in turn, that has given me the confidence to be like, no, we should be talking about these things. And then just infiltrating into like our friend groups of like, no, you should do that. You should ask for more money. You should, like, whatever the conversation is.
It always like blows my mind when I talk to somebody like you, who I feel is so open and confident, and like we have deep, real, raw conversations. But to know you on that level and realize that that wasn't necessarily something that you had ever experienced beforehand just is shocking to me, right? Like you're so comfortable with it. It comes so naturally. I guess I'm grateful that I was blissfully unaware that it's not normal and it wasn't something that people were doing very often. I just always naturally did that. And all of my friends in my life have come because of that. Like I've connected with them on deep levels that they maybe, I guess, didn't talk to with other people. I don't know, but the more we go through life, the more that social media and everything is so real and prevalent for people, it is more obvious that people want to talk and be open about things. And frankly, like, I think we're only as strong as what we do dive into, right? I don't know. I wouldn't be where I am in my career, in my partnership, in my friendships, in my life without people like you, and like pushing the envelope and encouraging me to like think outside the box and like talk about shit that needs to be talked about, you know?
Yeah. I feel like too, as like, I don't know how to say this without sounding like a dick, but like as strong, independent women, we're both the eldest daughter, which like the more work I do in therapy, the more I'm like, wow, what a disadvantage. But like
Deep.
there's a lot of issues that come with that. But I think you probably would agree that I'm still grateful to have been it, because it's made me successful. It's made me who I am. There's a lot of like things I still need to work through and like unlearn a belief system that I've like always thought to be true. But I think the positives outweigh the negatives when it comes to like our professional drive and like our ability to keep friendships, and like the way that we show up for people has definitely been shaped by being the eldest. I also think like, you grew up in Florida, I grew up in Connecticut. We have learned a lot in moving somewhere. Like there's just a lot of things that have made us who we are, but like we've also gotten to evolve and grow together. And I think that's like a pretty cool thing. And I think we, as like our friendship has grown, we've also been able to take that into like our other friends.
So true.
And I think what's cool for us is that we have like a lot of friends in which now we all can talk about these things. Like I love when your friends come into town and I'm like, we're not just like, hey, how are you? How's work? Like we're talking about real things, and vice versa, where like it's just kind of like emulated into this world. But I think as like strong women, sometimes we don't always have the ability to like show up for ourselves in that way, where like I think both of us are really good at being like, you need to do this, you should fight for more, you deserve more, blah, blah, blah. But then like, I know for myself when a promotion comes up and I'm like, okay, should I be asking for more money and blah, blah, blah. And like, you really give me the like reminder of the things that I would say to you. Cause it's hard to like take what you share for others and what you know to be true and what you feel so confident in telling a friend, a sibling, whatever else, and then apply it back to yourself, because there is still that like fear factor. It's much easier to tell someone like, hey, you should do this, like this is the right thing to do, and to believe it wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And then like to flip that on yourself is not always easy.
I'm grateful for friendships like that though. Like
100%.
I don't think I think I texted Shelby today or the other day and I was like, I'm shitty at small talk now. I used to be phenomenal at it.
It used to be really, I can't.
So good.
Like
when I'm like, I can't talk about like my therapy session from last week in this conversation.
It's so surface. And I think we've lost the ability to like have surface conversations, which is not the most advantageous, especially for what we do now. Like, but sometimes I'm like, God, how many more fucking questions do I have to ask? I also think most people aren't good at it. And so you and I can still do it, but when there's no reciprocity, which I find to be more common than not, it just kind of gets to a point where it's like, okay, well, if I've asked you all these questions and you can't think of one to ask me, like, I gotta go. Like, what am I doing here?
I think that's what happened in this small talk conversation. Like I kept like throwing a ball and no balls were coming back. I'm like, I don't know how else I can, 30 minutes of small talk just on me asking you. This is exhausting, not enjoyable.
I feel like Moira in Schitt's Creek when she goes to lunch with Alexis and she's like pulling up the napkin. She's like, so what is your favorite color? Like, should I have some on my phone of like small talk question? I probably should actually do that.
I'm sure we'll like, the pendulum will swing the other way again and we'll get comfortable with it. I think that we've both been so deep in like who we are and uncovering ourselves and our happiness and all this trauma that we've talked about, that like that's more of a priority for us. Maybe we'll come back around and
no.
Okay. And that's why we've created this though, right? Because like, we're not good at the small talk. We're not looking for small talk. We're down to like, get down to brass tacks. Like, let's talk about life.
Yeah. I think especially for like, we've gone through a lot in the last like 5 years, like a lot of really high highs, a lot of really low lows, like marriages, grief in like a multitude of ways, like friendship loss, like body image stuff. Like we've gone through a lot of things, which like, I don't want to say that our experiences aren't unique, but I don't think it's that different than like the average human.
Yeah.
Just like existing through life and going through shit. But I feel like connection is the one thing that like, maybe especially in the last year that we've really shifted to, of like, especially when it comes to work, like both of us are very career driven. And I feel like I sound like a dick when I say these things, but I feel like we've shifted a lot, and having like high powered careers, which both of us, again, I don't think we're that different from the average corporate America person, but we work a fuck ton and we've always been like climbers, but I feel without like humbly that we've done it in a very genuine way. Like neither of us would ever want to step on someone.
Yeah.
Which I think has probably held us back in our careers, but also we've been like the go-to person, the high achiever, the top performer, the one that everyone's like, I always will bring this to you because I know you'll get this shit done. And I don't want to talk shit about our corporate careers because I think we're very grateful for them and they've made us who we are. But I think we're just craving more of that like connection piece. And if this can create some sort of community, like that would be a beautiful thing to have. And I think that might also too be why, you know, we tried to get this up and off the ground last year, and like our careers were definitely like a top priority.
Yeah.
Which they should be, right? Like we get paid to do this. That's what pays for our medical insurance. That's what contributes to our 401k. So there is like a necessity to prioritize that. But I also think it just became this thing that we were like, oh, we're busy. We don't like, the only people that we owe this to at this point are ourselves. And I think that's just easier to kind of like let slip away. And I feel like it's a very normal feeling to also have a little bit of like subconscious fear and like, what if no one watches it? What if it sucks? Like, what if we put ourselves out there and no one gives a flying fuck about that?
That's also okay.
Yeah. But I think that probably like made it a little bit easier for us to like, I mean, we filmed what, like 8 episodes last year? Like we did a lot of work and we committed.
We didn't commit in the ways that we should have to be here today, right? Like we went through the motions of it, but when we're not fully passionate and in it and holding ourselves accountable, then like we can check something off a list, no problem. But is it going to get off the ground? Probably not. You're right. We needed to focus on our careers. There was a lot of stuff happening this year. Like, I'm not upset with the directions that we moved, but I think it almost pushed us to get here and how much more important this was, right? Like, I was talking about a bunch of stuff at work in my last therapy session, and then I started talking about this a little bit, like, oh, we're going to pick it up again. And my therapist was like, I don't think I've seen you sparkle and like light up like that. You know, you just talked about work and then this podcast in the same breath, and work was just womp womp. And this podcast was like, well, tell me more. Why do you feel this way? And I really think it's because I have gotten to this place in my life. I am happy, feel really productive and well-rounded because of these safe spaces that I've created. And if I couldn't talk about these things, then I can't kick ass and be corporate America badass. Like, I can't have a successful marriage. I can't have amazing, incredible friends because I'm not getting all the stuff I need out, right?
Yeah,
so
you're not filling your cup.
Right. This is what fills my cup. This is what I need. And I feel like a lot of other people probably want that too.
We can only hope. I feel like that's where this is all like sparking from too. And we've named it, because I don't think we've said that out yet, Too Many Tabs.
Oh, yeah.
Which I feel like is important because we both have severe ADHD. Hence why I don't like to pee or fill my gas, because like, what a waste of my fucking time.
I don't disagree.
Like, I'm just sitting there with my thumb. Anyway. But Too Many Tabs, I think, makes sense because we're basically just taking like our multiple hour-long conversations, which normally start at the nail salon and then end 3 hours later when we're standing in the parking lot, just unable to like break the cycle into like real life. And we always have so many tabs, and we're, I think, lucky that we both have ADHD because we can just snap into something else. It also makes us really fucking annoying to those who don't have ADHD, aka our husbands, who are like, could you not interrupt me for 5 seconds? And I'm like, no, I like physically.
I'm gonna forget about this.
Right. And I'm so excited to keep going, but I can't. I wish I could. There's so many other things I have to fix first. Like, that's.
He usually pauses and lets me speak, or he's like, let's write this down. Like, let's remember this.
He's like, Siri, remember blah, blah, blah.
Or I leave like a nail salon visit with you, and he'll get like 15 different text messages. He's like, what's this mean? What's this mean? What's this mean? I'm like, oh, that's a new show that she talked about. This is this.
We're doing this on this day. Yeah. Sociopaths.
Yeah.
And that's okay. But yeah, Too Many Tabs, I feel like is it's like very encompassing of who we are.
Yeah, you just touched on, there's so many different topics that we do want to cover and talk through, whether that's grief, trauma, body issues, corporate bullshit. And that is the tabs that we want to cover on this. There's not one specific topic that's drawing.
But like also the Real Housewives, like Mormon Wives, like those are tabs.
Mormon Wives I can talk to you about. Real Housewives, we can't say that we're going to talk about that and only cover like 3 franchises. It's not fair to the general public.
I feel like we can't. I watched 3 full franchises. That's a lot.
It is for you.
And I'm fully caught up with Salt Lake City.
It's kind of crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, but like I have to pause watching that show because they are just fucking fighting so much. And I know that's the whole point of it, but like I just get to a point, I get whiplash when they're like chewing each other out. And then the next season, episode 1, they're like
best friends.
Besties. And I'm like, how much money do you, like, is it really worth this much money to, like,
season's more aggressive than others, I feel.
I feel all of them are aggressive.
No, Bev Hills, I've started that one.
Like, I thought you meant like that season of Salt Lake City.
Like that franchise. I feel like Salt Lake City is just, they started like that.
Jersey, which I like, but it's almost like
too much.
I was over the Melissa Teresa drama, which now they're back together.
I saw that at BravoCon. Like she was like,
did Christmas together. So I think it's real. Yeah, anyway.
How?
This is exactly what we're talking about, is that there's all these tabs and there's like very serious ones.
So confused.
And then there's also like the lighthearted where like we are just like, I don't want to say the average American woman, but we're like the average,
I think so,
mid-30s human being. I feel like I was reading something today that was like the average millennial age is 36. And I was like, I thought we were like elder millennials. And neither of us
No,
do.
Eden's a millennial.
Oh, okay.
Isn't that
we're like a young
wild?
millennial.
We're mid-millennials.
We're mid-millennials.
Because our brothers are millennials too.
Are they?
They're the last set.
Oh, that makes me like.
Was it your brother? Your brothers were born in 06?
06, 96.
96, the same sixes.
Like, that's a full 10-year gap. Yeah, they're about to be 30.
I think 96 was like the last cutoff. Yeah. Which a lot of them kind of relate more on it's Gen Z, right? Like an elder Gen Z vibe, because they really teeter the line so much. But it's Eden and our brothers.
So we are like in the middle.
We're right in the middle.
Yeah. Which I feel like is a whole
36.
other topic, because we're in like the shitty, like I remember, if I was thinking about this on the way here, I remember like thinking, like knowing how much my dad made as a salary to support 5 people because my mom didn't work, and
So
like all the
crazy.
cool trips we took, like we weren't like rich, but we were definitely, we didn't want for anything.
You're enjoying life.
And like thinking in my head, like if I just get to that spot, then like I'll have this great life too. And don't get me wrong, we have great lives, but like we're set up for failure. Like we don't have the same like luxuries that our parents did. And I feel like it's very hard to be in this generation because you watch that generation and you're like, if I just work as hard as them, then I'll have X, Y, and Z. And like that's not financially possible. It doesn't matter how many Starbuckses you cut out. Like it's different.
Yeah.
It's just the tangents.
I know, but I feel that too. Eden and I talk about that all the time. And I think it's frustrating when you talk to our parents' generation and what they're trying to like recommend. We're never going to be there. I obviously can't pick up the family business of being a doctor. I had to like fucking go to med school for that. So.
Right. But even so, like like what, I mean, I don't do the same thing that my dad did, but like similar-ish opportunity for compensation, and like it's just not the same. Like you could make, like we're maybe even past there, and it's not.
If you told me what we were making today 5-10 years ago, I would say we're totally fine. Everything is good. I'm so proud of you, Ariel. And now, I mean, listen, I'm still very proud of us, the beautiful lives that we've created.
Right.
It's hard. Life is hard. I'm very mindful of things. And maybe that's another reason why I'm leaning into this, because we're going to break our fucking backs in corporate America and not have time to be with our families, to potentially raise families, etc., and not be okay with what we're financially compensated with. And like, is this really worth it at the end of the day?
I don't know.
That's the existential crisis that I'm having going into 2026.
There is like a full millennial crisis going on now, where like I think especially like females, there's a Forbes article that I was just reading and someone was talking about like the millennial crisis, but I feel like that's like a whole other thing. That's just a part of our like day-to-day lives. It's us deciding if we're going to go to Hawaii or not, right? Like it's all these decisions where I feel like our parents had to suffer and struggle and work their asses off too, which is where we learned it from, but they didn't have to make, it wasn't like have kids or get to go on a really cool trip once a year. It wasn't like, and I know that not everyone's like that, but it's not like have kids or buy a fucking house. And like, not a lavish house, just a house. This is a very like small piece of all the things that I think we want to cover. Yeah. But we're just hopeful to make like a community, whether that's 5 people or 500 people. Like I think,
or just us.
Right. Well, it will at least be 5 because we'll have our husbands and then like at least a few.
One more person that will pay. Right. We'll pay them.
No, we can't pay them until we make money off of this. We could pay them in like chocolate chip cookies or sourdough bread. I don't know.
You can.
Well, it'll be from us. Okay. You can buy the cookies. It's fine. I don't know. I think we just wrap it up with like, this is us. I don't know.
I'm excited. I'm really excited for what this is going to look like. Just like you said, if there's 5 people, if there's 500 people, like this to me is a therapy session in itself. I feel like good and just talking this out. And
we're just going to film our personal therapy session.
And here we are.